Hi Otters, sorry I can't be here with you today. I'm celebrating Miss Glotz and what a wonderful teacher she is, but I wanted to leave some lessons for you that you can work on while I'm not here. And we are working through the stages of the writing process in our very first little mini writing unit. And when we work through the stages of the writing process, there's two stages that we kind of work on in the beginning. Either immersion, which is surrounding ourselves with examples of awesome writing, or collecting. This is like brainstorming. This is like when you realize what you want to write about, you want to get as much out of your mind and onto the paper as you possibly can. You guys in this first writing unit are going to be writing about yourselves, stories from your life. I'm so excited to see them, and especially your collecting, your brainstorming, because I really get to know a lot about you. So the first thing you're going to do is on 2 open pages of your writer's notebook, you want to have 2 clean pages. We're going to label our first page. Remember we said we label every page with whatever stage of the writing process we're in. So this is the collecting stage. So I always label it at the top and draw a box around it. Okay, so on your page, you want to write collecting. And the very first way that I like to get unstuck, just brainstorm as much about student identities or my identity as I can, is just with a simple bubble map or mind map, just thinking of all of these different facets or categories or aspects of who I am as a person. And I really like using a double page because that way you can fit so much more. So I'm going to label it at the title. I'm going to title it, I suppose, Identity Bubble Map. All right, and this is going to actually count. I'm going to check this next week when I'm back in class, and it's going to count as points towards your final writing piece that we're going to do. We're going to be writing something called 6-word memoirs, and this is kind of our initial brainstorming phase of it that will lead up to the final grade. So yours should say collecting, it should have a title, and you want to write in the middle circle, my identity, right? And draw a circle around it. And then from there, we have all of these other bubbles branching off of all of these other ways that we might think of what our identity is. Maybe it is your language. Maybe it is your age. Your age is a really important part of who you are, right? And who I am too. Maybe it's your culture, right? And when we think of culture, we might think of religion, music, food. When I think of my identity, we often might think of things like jobs. Some people will think of their dreams. That's an important part of who they are. Education, that's a big one for me. My goodness, what else? Hobbies, things that you love. Likes, dislikes. Appearance, style. Friends, right? Who you choose to hang out with says a lot about you. Where you're from, experiences you've had. Okay, so if you need to, you can pause the video here and set sort of the skeleton of your bubble map up. When you're ready, you'll unpause it and start again. So from here, I want to personalize it, right? It's not just about defining what the word identity is. It's about digging into what is my identity, right? So for me, I want to use another color here. My language is a really important part to me. I love language. I love studying language, right? Obviously, I grew up speaking English, right? But I am halfway to bilingual, is what I call it. I'm basically like a language learner myself. I am halfway to bilingual. I love learning Spanish. I'm not great at it. My pod students will tell you I've been trying to speak a little bit this week, so halfway to bilingual because I love speaking Spanish, right? And that actually connects to a really important experience I had in my life where I lived in Spain and I studied abroad in Spain. I lived with a family that only spoke Spanish, only for a few months, but it was still a really important part. It really pushed me to be someone who went and explored new places and learned about other cultures. My age, how old do you think I am? 60, 20? I'm 41. That means I'm technically a millennial. Oh, I think I spelled that wrong. I think there's 2 L's. I also grew up in the 90s, so that's a big part of me. The music I listen to, right? Which comes over to my likes. I do love music. I love rock music. I like Tom Petty. I like Olivia Rodrigo's new album, Guts. Right? So this is kind of a sample. You guys are going to fill up as much of this as you can. What are your dreams and goals? Tell me about your religion, your music, your food, your culture. Who are your friends? What are the places you've lived? Get as much of this filled in with who you are as possible. You can use different colors if you want to. You can change the shape. Last year we had kids make these like planets and solar systems who wanted to mix it up a little bit. Remember, your workbook is you, and right now you're collecting details about your identity specifically. So any way you can get that on the page, keep working.